What's up, headbangers? Today we're going to be reacting to the new Megadeth album. It's their self-titled album, and most importantly, it's going to be their last. So, pretty big album, something we've been waiting to look into and listen to, but we finally got around to it. So, today we're going to review it, tell you all the songs, and kind of what we thought of each one. We wrote some things down, so let's get right into it.
Megadeth.
So, the first song is Tipping Point. Pretty sick opening riff and build up, and
Probably the best song on there.
Yeah,
probably my favorite song on there.
Well, this one is one we've listened to a few times beforehand because this was the first single, so this was released like 4 months, maybe 3 months before the album was.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, the opening was sweet, and then it kind of switched up into a heavier riff when it broke back down. And then the verses came in, so it was pretty sweet.
It's a thrash song.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
A lot of the songs in there wasn't that long. I noticed that.
Yeah.
They weren't as long. The verses are pretty heavy, and I just like the sound, though. But something we kind of picked out, and this will be kind of a common denominator with all these songs, is that the vocals were pretty weak. Just because Dave's, obviously, what is he going on, 70? I would think so. Probably late 60s.
About 70.
I would say late 60s.
I don't know. I'll look it up and get back with y'all.
But anyways, the vocals were pretty weak. Maybe not necessarily on this song, but throughout
some
the
of
album.
them, the vocals was a little weak. Some of them, the lyrics was weak. You know what I mean? But it's to be expected, kind of out of Dave Mustaine. He's not the best singer in the damn world. You know what I mean? He's shred.
Yeah.
So that's really the big thing you're looking for.
Yeah.
A lot of people, the reason they don't even like Megadeth would probably be because of the lyrics or the vocals.
What I've heard, yeah.
But I'm a fan of Megadeth.
Mm-hmm.
But even being a fan of Megadeth, I mean, he is getting older. This is newer style, newer stuff and everything. So.
The next song was I Don't Care, another single. So we've heard this one in advance a little bit, but this was probably a weaker one on the whole album. I wouldn't really consider it much of a thrash song. It was, a lot of people said, more punk rock, kind of like hit punchy sound than thrash.
A little more punk.
But it wasn't as bad. It's kind of more, any song on here that isn't as good or like better than the others are just kind of fun. They're funny, but they're not necessarily like bad songs.
Yeah, just holding them to the Megadeth standard. You know what I mean? It might not be. It's not no Rust in Peace or anything like that, but it's still a jamming song.
The next one is Hey God. This is a pretty good song. I did like it. The kick-in was nice, and I really liked the melody in this one over a lot of the other ones. So this was one of my favorite ones. It was just another thrash song. It's pretty sweet. Another thing, along with the vocals, we can add that the lyrics writing wasn't as good.
Yeah.
Some of the lyrics were a bit like just strange. They were just odd for something like this, but I mean, it wasn't as bad.
That's about the only complaint really I'm going to have about the record. You know what I mean?
The music was perfect. Yeah. The drummer was awesome.
Yeah, the drummer was
ripping. The guitars and even Dave playing the guitar was still awesome as always. But just Dave's vocals and his writing wasn't as killer on this one. But yeah, Hey God was a sick song. I really liked it. Let There Be Shred. This one was a faster one, so definitely got that thrash sound. The riffs were pretty sweet, but once again, the lyrics were just odd, different lyrics. This one was just talking about guitars and stuff, so it was just a little bit strange. But it wasn't a bad one. Of course, the killer was sweet. I kind of held the solo in the song. I figured I would hold it to a higher standard. Considering the song's called Let There Be Shred, that's a pretty big song for a band that shreds like Megadeth does. And then we got Puppet Parade. This was probably my favorite one, or one of my favorite ones. The chorus was pretty cool. The lyrics were cool on this one. I really did like the lyrics. And then, so yeah, the bridge was cool, and I liked the breakdown at the end. So this was one of my favorite ones, Puppet Parade. And then we have Another Bad Day. This where the funny lyrics were.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lyrics were pretty strange.
We got a kick out of.
Yeah. This one just wasn't musically the best one. Not, it's kind of more like I don't care. It just wasn't like a thrash song as much, but it still wasn't a bad song. Same thing with the other one. This was just kind of funny and definitely not better than the rest. And then Made to Kill.
I hate to say like a little bit cheesy or corny or
yeah, it sucks to
something
say
like
for
that.
Megadeth,
You know what I'm saying? Because
but
I don't like what I'm a fan of Dave and Megadeth. So, but yeah, they were a little bit.
yeah, Made to Kill was next. This one had the cool drum intro.
Yeah,
that was cool. I like that. The opening was sick too. So yeah, this was definitely one of my favorite ones as well. The switch up in the middle of the song, it was kind of the verse kind of kicked in slower, and then in the middle of the verse, it just I think it might have changed to the bridge and got faster. But that was really cool. And then I really love the solos on this one too. So another one of my favorite ones.
face melters, dude. A couple face melters in this album.
We got Obey the Kill. The intro was pretty cool, and lyrics were nice on this one, but they were still a little bit cheesy. This one just was kind of right in the middle. Not the worst, but definitely not the best. And then we got
that wasn't bad.
Huh?
That
no.
Obey.
No.
That
he says obey a lot, don't he? I kind of noticed
obey.
We got I Am War. This melody was cool along with the riff. The lyrics were a little bit stronger. I did like that. It kind of was a little more powerful.
Yeah.
And then,
I agree with that.
But the vocals were still pretty fragile. They were a little bit weak. So, and then the next song was a really highly anticipated song from like even us, and I can tell you a lot of people, was Megadeth's cover of Ride the Lightning. I'm sure a lot of people know that Dave was from Megadeth. Or Dave was from Metallica. Huh?
I was waiting on you to catch yourself.
Dave was from Metallica. That's where he started, but so he did help write the original Ride the Lightning by Metallica. So it's kind of iconic for him to do this.
He didn't change it at all.
That's like what I wrote.
Note,
that's what I wrote.
Verbatim.
That's the only thing I didn't like.
I don't think it was like a trying to do it better or anything like that. It was just like
just
a nod.
paying his dues. Yeah.
Yeah. So cool deal, man. It's nice to listen to.
Yeah, it wasn't bad at all, but it was word for word, note for note, which I kind of expected that a little bit to an extent. So I wasn't really short on my expectations.
I thought he might at least throw in like an extra solo or something gnarly, but nah, he just did a cover of the song.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
And then they closed it with the last note. So this was just a sadder song, knowing this would be Megadeth's last song ever, as for now. So, but yeah, sad knowing it's coming to an end. But, you know, the opening was cool. It was just Dave talking. And then I think he closed it talking too. So that was pretty cool. But, I mean, overall it was what?
An ending to a gnarly ass career, you know what I mean? And
well, that's what you got to think. This isn't just the end to the album or an end to the song. This is the end of their career, which is a big thing to think of.
Yeah, it is.
This is Megadeth's one of the only metal bands I can think of who've had so many albums. This is their 17th studio album, so that's crazy to think. How many does Metallica have? 11? I think they have like 11. Somewhere around
like that, yeah.
Anyway, this is their 17th, so, and of course the final. But we have plans to catch Megadeth. We're going to catch them at Louder Than Live, so they should have a pretty lengthy set with the placement that they're on. They should get about an hour.
Yeah.
So, that'll be
farewell
exciting.
to the studio, Megadeth, but we'll
Do you
be
think
there
Megadeth
live.
will come back like after they, not like come back after the tour is over, but like since they're going to do like 5 years in this final tour, like come back to the stage?
I would
like,
think so.
well, because we're considerably on this tour they're coming to this year. They're opening for Iron Maiden, so it's still not a headlining tour for Megadeth. And then at the festival they won't be headlining, but they're kind of there with Maiden as well as Anthrax, who are also on that tour. So I'm sure they'll come back at least once doing
if they come back, we'll be seeing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause, that's just a good band to see live. They shred. They kill it. They're iconic. Nothing wrong with that.
We caught them with Mudvayne and All That Remains. This was their headlining tour in 2024, so not that long ago. But it was a great show, and I'm excited to see them again. One of my favorite bands, probably in my top 10. Just killer musicians. It was another killer album, but I would give it. Let's see. I would say probably wasn't nowhere near my favorite stuff I've heard from Megadeth, but probably in the high 6, probably closer to a 7.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe
I would say about a 7.
probably a 6.
I would say
I'll
a
give
7.
it about a 6. I'm a fan of Megadeth. I ain't even trying to hate. Just rust in peace and peace cells and all these things. I'd give it probably a solid 6. Solid 6. Well, if anything, it'd be up a 7 more than it'd be a 5.
Yeah.
But I'd say a solid 6.
I would say more people that, like, if you just listen to older Megadeth, like the Peace Cells, the Rust in Peace, and then jump and just listen to the final album knowing it's their last, might kind of mess with you because they have, of course, like any band or something, probably had a decline throughout the years. Yeah. So
I mean, you're not going to listen to some prime Metallica and then jump to 72 seasons or something, and they just, I mean, hell, that was years ago. It was a lifetime ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No hate at all, man. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We'll listen to it again.
Yeah, I'd like to hear some of these songs live for sure. And so hopefully they'll play some. But that's going to be it. That's Megadeth's self-titled final album. I'd say, yeah, but 7. You said, what, a 6?
I'd give it a 6.
All right, so.
Sorry, Dave. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Love you, brother.
All right, well, that's going to be a wrap on that. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn the notifications on. Yeah,
we need all that we can get, man.
We got plenty of shows coming.
Help us out.
We're going to do some more festival lineups and then tons and tons of more albums coming, as there's music coming all the time. So we'll be checking some new stuff out. So make sure to come back and watch us.
Take it easy.